Have you ever wondered if you could actually make a profit on the stock market in, say, the time it takes to brew your morning coffee? Well, today we're going to do just that. We're going to dissect a trade that was over and done in 3 minutes. Let's get into it.
You know, when we think about investing, our minds usually go to the long game, right? You buy a stock, you hold on to it, and you hope it grows over months or even years. It's a marathon.
But what if the race wasn't a marathon at all? What if it was more like a 100-meter dash? See, day trading plays by a completely different set of rules on a totally different time scale. We're talking about trades that are done before you can even finish that cup of coffee.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? I mean, how is that even possible? How can someone spot an opportunity, jump on it, and make a profit in such an insanely short amount of time? It sounds almost like magic.
Well, the secret is that it's a flat-out sprint against the clock, but one where you're armed with a ton of data and a super strict plan. And to really get it, we're going to walk through one of these races second by second.
So our story actually starts before the market even opens for the day. And the company we're going to be looking at is called Orbitsoft.
Okay, so this right here is what traders call a catalyst. Orbitsoft just dropped some really good news. Maybe it's a killer new product, maybe their earnings were fantastic. Whatever it is, this news puts the stock in play. It's like a signal flare just shot up, and now traders everywhere are watching it like a hawk, just waiting for that opening bell.
So the market's about to open. All eyes are on Orbitsoft. But here's the thing. A pro trader doesn't just guess and jump in. Nope. They are waiting patiently for a very specific set of signals that will scream at them, okay, now is the time to go. And there it is. The bell rings at 9:30 a.m. sharp. And boom, just like everyone expected, Orbitsoft's price just explodes upward. The race is on. The pressure is immense. And you have literally seconds to process the data and make your move.
So in that split second, what are you even looking for? This isn't about a gut feeling. It's about a checklist. 3 critical signals that have to line up perfectly.
First in the list is the breakout. So imagine there's a price, like a ceiling, that the stock just couldn't break through yesterday. A breakout is when the stock doesn't just knock on that ceiling, it smashes right through it with serious force. For Orbitsoft, this is our first big green light.
But look, a breakout by itself isn't enough. It's kind of like a rocket ship with no fuel. That fuel? It's volume. A breakout on low volume is almost always a trap. What a trader needs to see is a massive surge in trading activity. That confirms that it's not just a few people buying, it's a whole crowd. And that crowd is what's going to push the stock higher.
And the final piece of the puzzle is something called level 2 data. Think of it like having X-ray vision into the market's inner workings. It shows you the real-time list of buy and sell orders. And for Orbitsoft, the trader sees it, a huge wall of buy orders stacking up way more than the sell orders. This confirms there is deep, powerful demand. All 3 signals are flashing green. It's go time.
All right, the signals are confirmed. The analysis took just a few seconds. Now it is time for pure execution. Let's break down how this trade actually unfolds.
At 9:30 on the dot, the market opens. Price surges. Just 15 seconds later, at 9:30 and 15 seconds, the breakout, the volume, and the level 2 all line up. That's the trigger. The trader is in. 5 seconds after that, a tight stop-loss order is placed. This is a non-negotiable safety net to cut any potential loss immediately. Then they watch. And at 9:33 a.m., they see the volume start to fade. The initial frenzy is dying down. That's the signal to get out. The trader sells, locking in the profit. The entire thing was over in less than 3 minutes.
So that was one trade, from beginning to end. But the real key here isn't about one single win. It's the process. That Orbitsoft trade wasn't some lucky guess. It was the direct result of a disciplined, repeatable strategy.
And this is basically what that process looks like. You scan for catalysts just like that Orbitsoft news. You identify a specific pattern you're looking for, which we call a setup, like the breakout. You always enter with a predefined risk management plan, that tight stop loss. You're constantly monitoring the data. And, this is critical, you are out of every single trade before the market closes for the day. No overnight surprises.
Now, the one force that makes all of this possible is volatility. That's just the speed and the size of the price swings. For a day trader, volatility is everything. It's the wave they need to surf, but it's also the wave that can absolutely crush them. And that's exactly why it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, that super fast movement is what creates the opportunity to make a profit in 3 minutes. But on the other hand, that same speed can create a huge loss in 3 minutes if you don't have ironclad discipline.
There's no safety net of just, oh, I'll hold on and hope it comes back. You have to manage that risk in real time.
So what did we really learn from this OrbitSoft trade? Well, first, that a good news story isn't enough. You have to wait for the data to confirm it. Second, speed is both your best friend and your worst enemy. It gives you the opening, but it also means you need a clear exit plan before you even get in. And finally, risk isn't something you try to avoid. It's something you have to precisely manage, down to the penny, with tools like a stop loss.
We've seen the tools, right? The charts, the data, the signals, they all make a trade like this possible. But we've also seen the incredible discipline it takes to pull the trigger and to get out. So that leaves a really interesting question. What's more important for success? The tools that give you an edge, or the mindset that stops you from making a catastrophic mistake? That's really the question at the very heart of trading.